Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Studio A. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our comedy guest tonight. You may have first seen this lady this year when she was part of the Comedy Zone for the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. If you don't know, it's where they get 4 of the best young comedians from around the country to put on a showcase. We're lucky enough to have her here from Sydney tonight. Please put your hands together. Welcome, the lovely Jennifer Wong.
Hi guys, how are you? First up, I'm a pretty quiet person. I just want to check, are there any other quiet people here tonight? I hear ya. I'm a pretty quiet person, and the big news at the moment is my mother choked on a fishbone. I didn't really know what to do. I'm quiet and I'm kind of bookish. My friends say that I'm bookish. They don't say if it's a good thing or a bad thing. They just say, Jen, she's so bookish, and then they go dancing. So Mum choked on a fishbone. I didn't know what to do. Not sure how you deal with it in your family, but basically I grew up being told that if you're choking on something, gets stuck in your throat, what you do is you get a big ball of rice and you swallow it whole. And if that doesn't work, you get another big ball of rice and you swallow that. So basically it just looks like you keep eating your dinner. All my life, I've never known if people around me have been eating quickly because they're starving or they need an ambulance. I don't know, I guess that's why they say that, you know, everyone should do first aid. You know, it's one of those things that everyone should learn but hope never to have to use, you know, kind of like calculus or bartering in prison. You know, so there we were, you know, I was counting my blessings that it wasn't something more serious, you know, than a fishbone. Like, for example, it wasn't a chicken bone, because we wouldn't have had enough rice to deal with that. Now, it's like, my mum's a nurse, right? You can tell I'm the daughter of a nurse because the first 3 words I ever learnt to spell were cat and personal hygiene. Now, on that day, because she was, you know, not well, I had to step up and deal with it. So we went to the emergency room, and, you know, I thought, you know, I will look after this. I walked up to the counter with her and I said to the nurse at the counter, I said, look, I'm here with my mum, and the nurse said, can she speak English? And I said, will there be an exam? No, I didn't say that, I'm much too polite. I said yes, but she's got a fishbone stuck in her throat and a full stomach, so she can't at the moment. And I guess the reason why it bothered me that she asked if Mum could speak English is because things to do with race and religion kind of make me a bit squirmish, you know. Like that day I'd had a phone call from a friend and she started a sentence with, the problem with Muslims is... And there's no good way to finish that sentence. The problem with Muslims is, I was like, oh no, please don't continue. You know, I don't want to have that thing where, you know, a friend rings up, you have to make an excuse that you can't meet up with them. I didn't want to say, sorry, I can't do Tuesday. I've got an appointment with some progressives. You know, you know, she's like, the problem with Muslims is, and then she said, that some of them seem to want time off during Ramadan. And it turns out she was doing her roster, right? She was doing a roster, so to her it was like a puzzle that she was trying to figure out. So I was thinking, I think it's actually okay to say that. Like, I think it's kind of like saying the problem with Chinese people is that some of them seem to want time off during Chinese New Year. You know, the problem with Indian people is that some of them seem to want time off during Diwali. You know, or the problem with racists is that they don't have enough of their own festivals. You know, I think it's okay to say that, you know. So, yeah, I guess it was all right. But, you know, we're sitting in the emergency room and we're waiting there forever. And, you know, by this stage, Mum is hungry again. And I walk up to the counter and I say, is there anything we can do to speed things up? I know it's not really an emergency, but, you know, the nurse was great. She said, look, I'll give you a tip. There's a Coke machine round the corner. And I've heard that if you drink enough Coca-Cola, the acid will actually dissolve the fishbone, making it easier to swallow. And I was like, oh my God, this is just the Western version of the rice ball thing. This is just what's going on here. Is that why Australia has an obesity epidemic? You know, all these kids are running around choking on twisties and their parents are just saying, you know, just go wash it down with some Coke, you know, you'll be fine, right? I don't know what's going on. So I guess the best place really to choke on anything would probably be an international food court. You know, I'm just saying, like, if you have to do it anywhere, maybe do it there. I told you guys before that I'm bookish, and I am. I am very bookish. Like, I don't want you guys to think that I just sit around and read all day, though. I don't. I do one or two things like this, just so it can say things like, I don't just sit around and read all day. Thank you very much. My name's Jennifer.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the gorgeous Jennifer Wong.